So that's interesting because that vehicle is following pretty close behind
Yep.
this
Okay.
sedan.
It looks
getting
like it's
very close.
pulling up right in front of him now, and it almost looks like
One
I thought
behind,
for a
one
second.
in front, and
Oh,
it's gotta be
yeah.
one of
It
the
looks like they're
undercover
trying a
vehicles.
pit maneuver.
Or maybe
Oh,
the grappler.
they got him with a grappler.
Yes. All right.
Mike, they just got him with the grappler. It's so funny. We were just talking about it.
Perfect.
They
That's
just
good
grabbed the
utilization.
vehicle, and you watched it live here on 12 unfolding, and that car's not going anywhere because what the grappler does is it shoots out a net that grabs the rear tires, and once that happens, that driver's not going anywhere. You can see officers that were in those unmarked vehicles out of their cars right now with their guns drawn, and he just shot, I wonder if that's a pepper ball round that they fired at the car.
There's a canine there as well. Again, this chase is far from over because we are still waiting for that driver to come out of the vehicle as it is surrounded by several undercover
and now backed
vehicles.
in by another undercover vehicle that just tapped into the front of the car on the grill side. So this driver is completely surrounded. And so, Mike, walk us through the procedure now. You've got this driver trapped. The driver's not going anywhere. Officers with weapons deployed. They might have fired either a pepper ball round or a gas round into the car. What happens now? Do you try to talk to them?
Good. Now it's going to be a negotiation and waiting game because now we want to see what that individual is going to do, if they're going to comply or if they're going to resist. So it should be something within a few minutes.
Okay, we can see several officers have their guns drawn, waiting for that driver to come out.
And Mike, we also see the police canine back there. Would that be something that would be used in this situation?
Depending again on what they were wanted for. If it was a misdemeanor, probably not. But if it was a felony, more than likely they would utilize a canine to try and get that person out of the car.
And again, we do not know anything about this driver, why he or she is wanted by police. We don't know if there are other passengers in this vehicle or if the driver is armed and dangerous. But you can see officers come around to the other side, on the passenger side of that vehicle, just in case there is more than one person in that vehicle.
And the canine handler has come up in close proximity to the car. You can see that off on the left-hand side of your screen, standing just off the street there. The canine handler appears to have their hand down by the edge of the dog's lead, which makes you wonder if they're going to let that dog go and do something. But at the same time, the doors are closed, so there's not much that canine can do until they get at least one of the doors or windows open, right?
Mike, are you still with us?
All right. We'll
Yes. Generally they'll try and open up that window to try and make sure that they can get in or they can get the driver to comply.
The fact that it's taking a while now, that the driver has not surrendered or come out, how do you get the driver out safely?
Generally, it's going to be just a waiting game till they're able to convince him or her to come out of the car and negotiate them to get out. And if they have to use other tactics as far as more pepper spray or some type of utilization, they can use that as well.
And Mike, I know you can't see us, so I'll describe what we're seeing and all of our viewers are seeing right now, and that is they are firing some sort of rounds into the car. Is that to break a window, or you can see the driver now? Their hands are. It looks like they're sticking their hands out of the sunroof. That would be the show your hands.
Right.
At least that's what it appears to be.
And generally, we want to see their hands out of the vehicle to make sure that they have no weapons on them.
Right. So I'll describe it for you. We just see the driver of the car with their hands through the sunroof, showing their hands. It looks almost like one of the windows is cracked. So I wonder if the rounds that were fired were designed to break a window and maybe gain access to the car.
Yes, that could have been just a pepper ball that may have gone through as well.
Is that usually protocol to start with the pepper balls?
Depending if they think that the individual.
Okay,
is
they're
not
making
going to
entrance.
comply.
Mike, they're getting ready to open up the passenger side door of the car. We see officers with shields. They're breaking the window right now, and they just made entrance into the car. And I wonder why, if the driver showed their hands, they're breaking into the car like this versus the driver just getting out.
They may not be willing to comply.
Yeah. Well, I can
So
tell you that they
them
just opened the passenger side door, and there are 3 or 4 officers with their guns. The police canine, I guess, will be deployed if the driver refuses to come out now that the passenger side door is open. And are they saying, we will deploy this canine if you don't come out?
They're more or less trying to negotiate that individual to come out. I see they're opening the door now. I can see the picture now, so I can see that they're trying to get that vehicle in. They may utilize that dog canine to try and persuade them to come out.
Yeah,
And
I think
the officer is trying to pull what looks like to be
it looks
the
like they're
driver
refusing
out.
to come out, and they're actually pulling the driver by their feet or by some body part to try to get him out. And now here comes the canine, and the canine is in the car right now. The canine is in the car, and I would assume that it's not going to be long before this is all over completely, because no one wants to deal with that police canine.
Officers obviously surrounding both
And
sides of the vehicle
he's
and
being
pulling
dragged out of the car right now.
And that was the guy who was wearing a red shirt. That
Yep.
was the driver
You
of
have-
the vehicle.
Boy, you called it, Tram. I did not see that. The driver's on the ground right now, being put in cuffs, and this appears to be over.
And it doesn't look as though there's anybody else in the vehicle.
No. Thank God no one was injured. This seems to be just a textbook perfect stop. The grappler works the way it's supposed to work. Police in unmarked vehicles surround the vehicle that was being chased. They break open the passenger side door, send the canine in, and now, with no one being hurt, the driver is in cuffs.